Hi everyone, and welcome to episode number 4 of the DisKingdom Collect Disney podcast. I am joined by usual by Abe in sunny California.
How's it going, everybody?
Okay, and I'm Roger here in a rather grey, but not too bad, UK this morning. It is Wednesday the 4th of March, and on today's show we have got a number of different items to talk about, including some new Star Wars merchandise, including some new animations. We have some Indiana Jones t-shirts, we have some new Tsum Tsums, we have a glow-in-the-dark Star Wars pop figure, we have Avatar and guitar, and also some Guardians of the Galaxy cassette. So we had quite a few bits and pieces to discuss this week, so let's see. So first off, just would like to just say, if you haven't already done so, remember to give us a thumbs up if you like the video, hit that subscribe button on YouTube, hit that subscribe button on iTunes if you're listening to the audio version, and also remember to check us out at DisKingdom.com. Okay, so now we've got all the plugs out the way. I'm going to throw this straight over to Abe for his first thing for the show. And what was it you wanted to bring up first?
So the first topic we're going to talk about is Toy Wars actually announced a Star Wars glow-in-the-dark holographic Emperor. There was their exclusive pop. Basically, I just arrived. Everybody's been getting them, and this is a pretty cool pop. I don't have it out here, obviously, because I'm charging it, because I want to show you guys how it glows, but it's actually over here. It's a pretty cool figure. You know, it coincides with, obviously, the other glow figures that they've had, like a Darth Vader and what was it, Darth Maul. I mean, it's a really cool figure. Very good detail. If you did not pick one up, there's plenty going around on the Facebook auction sites. But it's just definitely a cool pop in general to add to the collection of those Star Wars pops. I did want to show you guys how it glows, because it is pretty bright. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. While Roger talks about it, I'm going to run and turn off the lights. So, yes. 1 second.
So while he's running off, it looks pretty cool. I mean, I think I do love the fact that they're doing these sort of different variants, and because they're in an open window, it's a little bit easy to get out of. Okay, so we've got the lights, so we've got, ooh, it's all spooky over there in Austin. It's like they just, oh, there it is.
So it's a little difficult.
Yep, carry on.
It's a little difficult to see, as you can see, because of the screen on the computer. Definitely glowing a bit. Let me see how far back I can get. Either way, I mean, you can get the gist of it. It's pretty cool. It's cool. A cool glow figure, like I said. Roger, do you have any of these pop figures at all?
Yes, I have got a few. I have got so far. I've picked up a few Star Wars ones, and they're slowly starting to multiply in my room. I've gone from, I think I've suddenly got, I think my collection's doubled from about 5 to 15 this year already, and I've got half a dozen on order, and I think they're just going to keep growing this year, and I'm slightly worried.
Yeah, very addictive, but cool little figures. The cool thing about the Star Wars ones, they all obviously come on these little black stands, and
yeah,
Yeah,
I was going to say, I think the reason they're all on stands and bobbleheads is due to a licensing rule with other collectibles, that they had to kind of make it a bobblehead, so it sort of gets around a technical loophole that it's a vinyl figure. That's why, like, the Marvel and the Star Wars are all bobbleheads rather than the other figures. It's purely just due to licensing issues. Okay, so I'm going to let Abe now.
Cool.
I'm going to let Abe turn his lights back on.
Be right back.
Okay, so yeah, so there we go. So while Abe is just turning on the lights there, yeah, this is one of those things. I think in general with the pop vinyls is they are really cool. And if you haven't already done so, you can also check out our sister website, DisKingdom.com. Sorry, not our popvinyls.com is our sister site. Huge, big community over there. We have got, I think, just short of 9,000 members in our Facebook group. Yeah, so be sure to check us out over there. And as you can see, I saw that Wampa, the big one the other week, and I was like, yeah, I've got to resist that one. Yeah, He's moving around there. We can see it's a. So that one looks pretty cool. If you have got that one yourself, so we'd love to hear what you guys think of that pop. Okay, so I'm now going to jump onto my next item, which are some new Tsum Tsums. We're going to go completely the opposite direction, and we're now going to go to some nice, cute and fluffy items, which are the new Tsum Tsums. Now, yes, the first sort of day, or the first Tuesday of every single month is Tsum Tsum Tuesday. And what that means is Disney basically bring out a load of new Tsum Tsums. This week, the big new Tsum Tsums were, they were frozen ones. Now, we had Kristoff, we had Sven, we had Hans, we also had Anna, Elsa, Olaf. Let's bring them up for everybody. But also what was quite cool is they brought out a medium-sized Olaf and an even extra-large Olaf. So they look pretty cool. The small ones are only priced at $4.95. So there's the three Olafs. I must admit, if I see that Olaf in a store over here when they come out here, I think I'm probably going to pick up that medium one because he looks rather funky. Yeah, so they're available now in Disney stores. So they are going to be popular without a shadow of a doubt. So that was the first of the. We had a bundle of them yesterday. They also a surprise release of some Winnie the Pooh Tsum Tsums. There was the Easter collection, which included we had we had the Easter ones, which have got they've all got little like bunny ears and sort of baskets on. They look pretty cute, and I think again because of the price of them, they're pretty cheap, so they're kind of something it's pocket money, and people buy more because they're cheap. And then you have this this basket one, which comes with a medium-sized Pooh with you can open them up, and inside you have the four sort of Busy Bee ones. So they have
the Honey Pot collection. You were about to say it. That's right.
Yeah, so they look pretty cool. And then we have something a little bit better. We have the Big Hero 6 ones. These are going to be out in April, where Disney always announces the ones in the future. So we've got Hero Bimax. We've also got Nurse Bimax, Fred, Go-Go Tomago, Honey Lemon, and Wasabi. The fact I know all the names of the characters and I've not even seen the movie yet, it's pretty good. So, yes. I was going to go cinema this week, but we looked at the price of it and was like, for £25, we'll give that a miss. I'd rather buy the Blu-ray. Now they've stopped Orange Wednesdays in the UK, so it's suddenly a lot more expensive to be going.
No, yeah, those Tsum Tsums are pretty cool. Like when you go to the Disney store, kind of seems like they've taken over the usual Vinylmation section they used to have. They used to have a section dedicated to just Vinylmation. Now they're spread everywhere. But the Tsum Tsums they have their own spot now, and it's pretty amazing the amount they have.
They've definitely become the new collectible craze. I don't know again if it's because of the cuteness factor is great for just people in general, but also very good pricing. I think that $5 collectible mark. I've got a few. Over here in Europe, we've got a different system where they're being sold in other retailers. Toys R Us in Spain, Primark in Spain, Clinton's in the UK. Disney Store are selling them, but because I think the lack of Disney stores in Europe means that they've kind of gone and outsourced them. But for me, I would quite happily pick up the new Olaf, and I think Armored Bimax looks kind of quite funky, but I've got
Yeah, I like the Big Hero 6 ones.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think there's a thing as well that sort of the Big Hero 6 ones were out in Japan a month or two ago, but because of this new sort of rotating sort of monthly thing, everyone's got new ones every month, so it's pretty popular. But I'd love to know what you guys think of the new Tsum Tsums. Okay, I'm going to throw it back to Abe for his next item that he wants to discuss.
Yeah, this one has to do, I guess it's a little near and dear for me because, growing up going to Disneyland a lot, when Indiana Jones opened 20 years ago. It was just such a cool ride to go on for the first time. But anyways, I just talked about it. Indiana Jones is turning 20. Let me pull up what I want to talk about, though. However, the Disney Store, to commemorate that, they will be they will be selling these pretty cool collectible T-shirts. First off, obviously this is the ride in Disneyland. This is the ride poster that they have. But it's a pretty cool ride. If you haven't been on it, it's like a vehicle bounces around and you go through the temple.
I think it's a lot like it's a remold of the dinosaur in Walt Disney World, isn't it?
Actually, Dinosaur is a remold of
right.
this. This was the first one that was open before they did the ride system. But yes, it's the same vehicle that they use over there. And I think they have, if I'm not mistaken, Journey to the Center of the Earth. I think they use something similar. I don't know. I could be wrong. But anyways, yeah, go ahead.
That's the thing. I think that's one of those weird things with Indiana Jones is the in the parks is I think it's obviously in Disneyland you have that ride. I am pretty sure, if I remember rightly, they had it in Tokyo Sea when I was there. I'm pretty sure that was. But here in Disneyland Paris, it's actually a roller coaster.
Right.
Indiana Jones, and obviously in Walt Disney World they have that stunt show. So it's quite interesting. They really did kind of go all over the place. That new T-shirt does look quite cool.
Yeah, they have it in like a more beige tone, and this is obviously the plain white tee. But Disney does have a sale. I think they're going right for $21.95, but I think you can buy both versions, like 2 for $40, which is not much of a discount, but it's still pretty cool. Again, it's the 20th anniversary. It's just very, and it's very retro. It's a retro looking shirt. It's really nice. I'm thinking about picking one up. It'd be, it's one of my favorite rides since I was a little kid. And tapping into what you were saying too about how all these different parks have different versions and their own little spin on Indy. When this ride was being developed, they actually wanted to build that roller coaster in Paris in the same temple as the ride that we have here in California. And the Jungle Cruise was supposed to go through the temple, and then the train that goes around the park was supposed to go through it. But obviously, because in California we're kind of landlocked, there was not much room to build all that. So that's why all these other parks got different pieces. And the one in Japan is actually a different storyline behind it. This one's Journey to the Forbidden Eye, and I think over there it has something more to do with like a crystal. I don't know if it's a crystal skull or a crystal something, but either way, it's still cool for all those diehard Indiana Jones fans and obviously Disneyland park fans or just Disney park fans in general. This is a cool shirt to pick up. Check it out at thedisneystore.com. And I don't know, what do you think about the shirt?
I think it's pretty cool. I like I think we're going to see a lot more sort of Indiana Jones items coming in the future. Anyway, now that sort of they own it, we don't know where they're going to be taking Indiana Jones in the future. But yeah, now it's actually Disney's own property. Does slightly mix up, but
okay. I got rid of you.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that one looks pretty cool. I'd love to know what you guys think of that one as well. Okay, so we're now going to flick over. So I'm going to sort of slightly shift gears to Walt Disney World for some not really merchandise news, but I'm just going to bring that one up for everyone watching on the YouTube channel. And basically, it is Avatar. There was Disney put out a thing earlier this week on the Disney Park blog talking about bringing the world of Avatar to life at Animal Kingdom. You can see that and here we can see on the really cool picture, this is concept art of like this big like sort of tree area kind of. That's obviously going to be the big sort of landmark piece to kind of make it look really cool and look really different. I'm in slightly two minds with Avatarland. One part of me is thinking it looks good, looks great, looks exciting, great to have something new coming into the parks. And then the other side of me is going, Avatar. It's not, it's quite surprised that sort of Disney reached out to Avatar. I know they've got 2 new sequels coming out, so that's probably what's going to be the big thing. But they didn't really. You would have thought they had enough stuff to do with their own characters without licensing out other issues. But again, I think they agreed to this deal before they bought Marvel and Star Wars. So maybe it was one of those things that they got in place. But looks pretty interesting. What do you think of that one, then, mate?
Actually, while I talk about it, and obviously it's going to look like I'm on the computer, but I wanted to pull something up to talk about what you're talking about. Basically, first off, in 2013 when I went to D23, they weren't really showing too much in the Disney Imagineering concept area. They usually do, but for some reason they weren't showing much. And one of the reasons why was they didn't want to give away too much. A lot of things have been spilling, especially with the Imagineering department. They wanted to keep everything hush-hush. But they did show there was a few bits and pieces hitting around the show floor where you can find little things. And one of the things that I found there was the way they're planning to make the world of Avatar. Obviously, the plant life actually lights up, and all, and the scale, it's also huge. But they have these really cool little things hidden, and the way they're doing it, it's pretty crazy. They're creating new technology just to make this work. But one of the things that I wanted to tap into too, you were saying how, is it necessary for them to reach out to James Cameron and do Avatar? No, I don't think so, but I think something that's very important to think about is where they're placing it. They're putting this in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and bring up what I'm leading up to here. Let me go back to what I did earlier. Eventually, once it starts. Okay. So, do you see this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got the what would have been the Beast Kingdom in the middle there.
Exactly. So it's going into Animal Kingdom, and the truth is, when they were developing this park, it's obviously what you see today, but part of one section of the park that was supposed to be built was supposed to be like fantasy beast or fantasy creatures that you're talking about. That's why in the logo, you still see a dragon in the very middle. So what happened, not to get too much into it, but obviously a lot of political stuff going in the background, a lot of Imagineers left the company, and a lot of things that you see in Animal Kingdom in Florida, like, well, now it's taken over by Harry Potter, but there used to be Dueling Dragon roller coaster, and a lot of things that have to do with fantasy creatures or whatnot. That's basically some ideas and concept that was sort of going into Animal Kingdom, but it ended up being into the rival. So obviously, why am I bringing this up? Obviously, Avatar. Avatar is, it's a fantasy world, and you have fantasy. Whoops, going to the wrong place here. Fantasy beasts, and I believe they're going to be incorporating one of the rides that I read concept of, like a simulator ride, like a 3D film type of thing, and they're going to be incorporating a lot of these beasts that you see in Pandora. So it's going to be cool. I think it's a smart move just to get them under the belt, under the Disney belt, even though they don't own it, but a partnership works because, Universal is giving them a lot of competition with Harry Potter and obviously the decline of their parks because of that fantasy thing moving over with the Beast. But anyways, Avatar is cool, and like you said, 2 films are coming, and obviously it shows endless possibilities there. So.
And also, I think one of the big reasons why they've been doing it was the fact that Pandora kind of represents this whole thing of like looking after the planet and not taking everything, and that was kind of one of the strong stories. I think it'll look cool when I eventually I'm hoping by the time I get back to Walt Disney World, it'll all be built and finished, because there might be a few years before I get back to Walt Disney World. So it'll be quite interesting to see where they take it, and also where those 2 movies go. It's there's always been attractions built around stuff that has maybe not been as successful as they thought. I think it fits in. I think there's a general with some Disney fans that they generally don't like anything that is not sort of almost like if Walt didn't create it, it shouldn't be there kind of thing. And for me, I think it could look amazing.
But it kind of coincides to what you and I have been talking about already, which obviously, Star Wars and Indiana Jones that was a partnership that Disney made before they even owned them, obviously, and they were incorporating into the parks. Yeah. Who knows? This could be a segue into the future. Maybe eventually James Cameron wants to sell off his Avatar franchise to Disney or to somebody. So.
And also, we're sort of thinking, with the merchandise deal is, they're going to have merchandise deals in place. They are years ahead of themselves now with terms of contracts. There's going to be piles and piles of Avatar merchandise. Will all the merchandise be made by Disney? You just don't know what the deals is. And like you say, Disney, once they sort of, if they can, they will they're trying to buy up as many different franchises as possible. So who knows? So that is on there. I'd love to know what you guys think of Avatarland coming. It's more of exciting because I think in a few years we're going to see a lot of advertising merchandise coming through, which will sort of filter down.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I'm going to throw this one back to Abe for his next one.
Next one has to do with what was that?
I was just Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, gosh.
Not too much. We don't want to strike.
Well, next one I'm kind of excited for. Basically, Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, when the movie came out, what was so cool about it is obviously it was almost like a comedy soap opera type of thing, because it had so much music. And something that was so cool about it was, you know, obviously the Awesome Mix Volume 1. I got the soundtrack, obviously, when it came out. It's really good. It just has old classic songs that, you know, for the older gentlemen and women out there, older gentlemen and women out there know about. And it was kind of a cool way to introduce you to you know, the younger crowd who don't really listen to that, but they're like oldies, but still.
But you know what? Actually,
they're classics.
I'm going to actually throw some in that there was quite a few songs in there I'd never heard. I think even some of the main ones, I don't think I've ever heard them. So they were like new to me, even though they sounded old. So that was quite.
I don't know. For me, I knew them all. But anyways, so obviously this is a CD, and the CD cover has a cassette tape because in the movie he's playing it with a cassette tape. Well, for all those fans out there who really want to be die-hard, let me pull this up again. Basically, they just decided to release an actual cassette tape. We're going backwards, people. Looks like they are producing an Awesome Mix Volume 1 cassette tape, including, you know, a tape deck cassette. Just it's so cool because it kind of makes you feel like you're getting an actual piece of the movie, even though you're not, obviously. But I mean, they even wear down the corners. I mean, the tape looks like it's been played by Peter Quill for so long. It's just such a cool little thing that they're doing. It's not that expensive. It's, you know, $14.95. Check out the story on DisKingdom.com. But for all those diehard fans who saw the film, who enjoyed it, who decided to make their own cosplay and, you know, start buying old Sony Walkmans for like ridiculous amounts on eBay, well, you know, it's not going to be complete until you have an Awesome Mix Volume 1 cassette tape, which actually works and has all the music on it. So, what do you think about this?
It's like the first cassette they've made in like 12 years or something, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just
it's a cool little gimmick. It's kind of, for me, it's kind of like, yeah, it's cute. It's fine. I think that's for me. I just look at it and goes, yeah, it's a cool little feature. And you know, if you're big fans of Guardians, it was a nice little thing. It's just so ironic to think that you know, here we are, almost 20 plus years after, you know, everyone abandoned cassettes, is that we're sort of like, oh look, a collector's really old looking cassette with handwritten notes. So no, it's quite funny that we've all gone back to. But I think it's a cool little idea. I think it's a great price. And if you've still got a piece of equipment that will play it, that's even better.
That's what I was going to say right now. Like, yeah, I should go dig through my boxes and find, like, my old Walkman.
Yes. Okay, so if you've got any thoughts on that, I'd love to hear from you guys as well. Okay, so I'm just seeing here what's going on with my Google app. So, okay. And finally, we've got the last sort of big sort of feature of the day, which is going to be the news yesterday of some Star Wars merchandise that was announced. Yeah. Now this one was, there was a load of bits and pieces that come through on here. Just gonna have a look here at them. So there was loads of stuff released, and looks like all my browsers have kind of decided to pack up. So I can't do anything on that at all.
I'll just entertain people with more Star Wars here.
Yes, hopefully they're looking at you guys. Okay, so there we go. So I'm not quite too sure what's going on here with my Where is this? Okay, so as far as the actual new merchandise that comes in, there's quite a lot of bits. First off, there's some new magic bands. It's like a green and a red one, which kind of look a bit like a lightsaber. So we have that. And then also we have some new pins. There's loads of new pins coming through. And finally we have a load of new Vinimations, including a couple of sneak peeks of the new Series 5 Vinimations. And then also we have a huge new 9-inch, 3-inch combo with a Death Star on the top of the animation, and on the bottom, like a big fight scene between X-Wing and TIE fighters in space, and they're all shooting. Looks fantastic. We haven't had a 9-inch animation, or the last one released at stores was last year's Star Wars one. By the time this comes out, it would have been nearly a year since there was an actual 9-inch released at a store.
I brought it up for you.
Hopefully you guys can see that. If not, I can't quite sort of do much of it at the minute.
Roger, I brought it up if you want to show it on my screen.
Yes, I would. But I can't actually move anything on my screen at the minute. I'm just hoping we're still recording.
Yeah, well, if you look at my screen, I'm showing the magic bands that look like lightsabers.
They look pretty cool.
They're very cool. It's just, obviously when you wear them, it's not going to look anything like a lightsaber, but when it's extended out, it looks very cool. And these new pins too are they're very detailed. Is one thing that I'm noticing with these pins. You have a bunch of droids, and obviously the Millennium Falcon, and some TIE fighters, stormtroopers, and just a bunch of heads of the bounty hunters, and they look very, very cool. Then these pop vinyls were not pop vinyls. Wow, these Vinimations, the big ones are like, when I first saw them, I was like, wow, those look amazing. Just with just in the background on the bottom, you see all the space fight between the TIE fighters and the X-wings, and then you have the creme de la creme sitting on the head. It's just it's a cool looking Vinylmation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to be adding the 9-inch to my collection, because the minute I saw it, I was like, that. It just the level of detail looked in it, and it's great to actually have a 9-inch Vinylmation coming out, because we don't see a lot. But it's just a really cool. I just think it looks quite cool. I don't know if the new head looks. It looks a bit wobbly, obviously due to the size of it. But
I was gonna say if only it didn't have the facial. If they just kept it round, it would have been amazing.
But we've also got those 2 new figures from. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like on Series 5 they should be moving on from the original trilogy. I just feel like
talking about like Leia and the fighter pilot.
The fighter pilot looks fantastic. He looks fantastic, and I want to add him to my collection. And also, we can see there's a sneak peek at a stormtrooper as well will be in the set. But what's bugging me is Leia. I don't need another one. I've already got like 4 of her.
There's so many of her.
And it's like, they could have done some prequels, they could have done some Clone Wars, they could have done some Rebel. I know there's an Inquisitor coming as a single character coming from the Rebels. It just feels like, they did the 3 series, and then they've sort of, I know there's lots of characters. It just feels like they should have gone back and, maybe attacked one of the other movies or some other characters, just to kind of bring something a little bit more interesting. I think the big 9-inch looks interesting because it's something new, but the blind box series, as much as I love that TIE fighter, the Leia's kind of throwing me off. There is some other merchandise. You've got like Pete as Boba Fett, you've got sort of, there's a Stitch as Darth Sidious.
That's something that I wanted to ask you about. What are those figures? Because some of them look really cool. Like, I mean, they have Huey doing Louie as what are they called? Wow, I'm having a moment here. The ones that they're selling the droids.
I don't know quite what they are. I think they haven't really put any details on what they actually.
I know who they are. I'm having a brain fart here.
you got. It's hard to know because they look like they're on like a hockey puck or something, or just a stand.
Yeah, that's what they look like. They look like they're on a hockey puck, but it's definitely a stand.
Yeah, and you've got like Huey, Dewey, and Louie as the Jawas was the droid.
Thank you, the Jawas. That's right.
And then you've got is it Daisy Duck is somebody? I don't know who she is.
That's Daisy Duck, definitely as I don't know if she's supposed to be a bounty hunter. I don't know.
Looks a bit odd, but no. So that looks okay.
That General Grievous Stitch, though, I do like a lot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, he does look pretty cool like that. I think this is one of the things we've been talking about over on the Infinity podcast a lot more, is because Star Wars and Disney are kind of intertwined for years, and also I don't think the licensing are as difficult as they are with Marvel. But we've got this interconnection between Star Wars characters as Disney. And so they're all like intermixed already, and I think that's going to make a big difference. For example, with the future of that game. But yeah, I think the Star Wars weekends are hugely popular. You know, the merchandise is always a big thing. I just wish, as much as I know they do it on purpose to get everything back for those Star Wars weekends, but I just wish they'd spread out some of this merchandise a little bit more throughout the year, because it's quite a lot all at once.
Well, I know I'm hoping that when Star Wars Celebration happens in April, because they held back so much merch at Toy Fair for Star Wars, hopefully we'll get a lot of announcements there. So we'll see if we have more Star Wars toys to talk about later.
Yeah, no, so that looks pretty cool. I think they look really great. I'd love to know what you guys think as well. So you can always comment below or get in touch with us through like Twitter and Facebook, etc. I think they look really cool. I think one of those interesting things with sort of Star Wars is it's bringing the whole new crowd into the parks, and Star Wars weekends are just hugely successful. So it'll be interesting to see what other new stuff that comes out. I was thinking it's cool that they do like Darth's Mall, but I think they're even moving that into a bigger location this year because they've got that much stuff to sell to people.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's the fact that they are putting it down as packages. I think it's $250 per guest to get in, and that doesn't include your entrance into the park. And this is just for the Galactic Gathering, which is on the Thursday, it's only from 10 till 3. So they must be giving you some merchandise if you're paying $250 to get in on top of it.
That's the Florida event, right?
Yeah, yes. These items will only be available to Galactic Gatherers, and there's probably some exclusive items in there, but I mean those animations, they're going to be out for everybody afterwards. And maybe the pins and stuff, but $250 to get in, you're going to have to be a serious diehard fan to get in for that.
I bet you those same items will be found at Star Wars Celebration out here in Anaheim. I guarantee you they will be.
I know like Nick from Destination of Animation, he went to the event last year and was sort of doubt. I think that's the trouble. It's a real kind of fine line between items that if they don't sell out by them and then they're available the following week, then it kind of defeats the whole point of it. But it does say the packages. It does include a magic band, a trading pin, a light speed pass to get into Darth Maul for all 5 weekends. That's a bit interesting. So if you go to that there, you can then go pick up merchandise for the next 5 weeks by getting in early. So they're almost giving you pass to get in and buy stuff. You get an opportunity to buy Vinimation and the handbags, and you also get a Han Solo popcorn bucket. So yeah,
gotta have that popcorn bucket.
Just looking at that, so $250 and you get a magic band, a pin, and a popcorn bucket. It sounds quite expensive.
Well, magic band, there's no use to it out here, so yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's kind of. But they're good for your Disney Infinity, so.
I already have one. Don't need another one.
Yeah. I've got 2 sat beside me now, so it's fine. But no, they look pretty cool. I have
a great one, and it says. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think over the next few months, we're going to see a lot of Star Wars merchandise.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, on that note, have you got anything else you want to add to this one, Abe?
No, I think we're good. I honestly think we have quite a few weeks coming full of toys. I mean, once they get announced. So, and plenty of news, obviously. So just stay tuned for more.
Yeah, if you haven't already done so, like I said, remember to hit that subscribe button on iTunes or on YouTube. And remember to check us out at DisKingdom.com. And you can also get in touch with us through all the social medias. We always like to hear from you, get feedback from you, and also, it's one of those things. I mean, with the whole sort of DisKingdom podcast, it's kind of an evolving project. We're trying to cover lots of different things. We want to know what you guys are interested in, you know, what you maybe like to hear us talk about, etc. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you guys soon. I'll leave it.
Adios, amigos.
Adios, amigos.
I'm going to be wearing a hat now, just because I didn't brush my hair. Not actually, I want to be a pirate. Arr. I should probably wear something in my eye, like an eye patch. Arr.